An important part of setting up and running an affiliate site is finding an appropriate domain name. In this lesson, we look at finding and registering a domain name. We'll look at how you can find the most effective available domain name and what to look for in a domain name registrar. The first step before you register a domain name is actually coming up with a suitable idea. How you do this is up to you. With a computer or a pen and paper, pick your favourite brainstorming method. You'll see many affiliates lamenting the fact that the best and shortest domain names are already taken. Sadly, that's often true. However, we recommend trying variations of your keywords, using both hyphenated and non-hyphenated forms. To help speed things up, you may want to employ some tools to help ease the dirty work of finding available domain names. There are a few out there. Nameboy.com lets you enter 1 or 2 words into each search box. Nameboy will perform some thesaurus magic on these words and come back with a variety of combinations. Domain names that are available have green boxes with a checkbox inside, underneath the TLD that has availability. Often there will be several pages of suggestions of varying quality, including some very odd suggestions, but don't worry. These suggestions are often a good way of getting the creative juices flowing a bit, and they can be kind of fun too. Be careful with Nameboy though. Occasionally Nameboy will say a domain is available when it isn't, so don't take these results as gospel. Run them through a different domain name checker just to be sure. Also be aware that the cost of registering a domain through Nameboy is about $5 or $6 higher than many other places, so it's worth taking these results and purchasing your domain names elsewhere. Sorry Nameboy. Domainsbot.com is similar to Nameboy, but with more options and a slightly less intuitive interface. When you visit the site, you're prompted to enter a domain, keywords and a short sentence. The website will automatically pop down a window showing you if the whole phrase you type is available as a domain. If you ignore this and hit search, it will turn up synonyms for your phrase, along with their availability. Note that with this site there are 4 options for availability. Registered, the domain name is not available. For sale, the domain name is currently being offered for sale by the current owner. Clicking on the Bid Now button will take you to the site that is selling the domain. Sometimes they will tell you the price, other times it'll be a blind bidding situation. You enter what you're prepared to pay without any real idea of what the domain name is worth. We recommend you skip past these ones for the time being and look for a domain that isn't already owned. Expiring? Well, the domain is currently owned, but the ownership is due to expire pretty soon. Just because it says expiring doesn't necessarily mean that it will expire. Even after a domain officially expires, the owner has a grace period of around 30 days to renew it. That said, if you're patient, you can sometimes nab some good domains by back-ordering expiring domains. This essentially puts you next in the queue for ownership if and when the domain name becomes available. The cost of this varies between registrars. Some only charge you when they actually secure the domain for you, but the fee may be a little higher, while others might charge you a yearly fee for watching the domain. But there's no guarantee that it will actually become available. And last is available. This last option is the one you're really hoping to see. It means the domain name is available and you can snap it up. The nice thing with Domainsbot is that you can filter results using the menu on the right-hand side. For an initial sweep, we would take it down to just the .com, .net and .org TLDs. Only look for available domains and not include hyphens, numbers or bad words at this stage. You can also pick synonyms for your keywords and repeat the search using those. Once you've ticked or unticked the relevant boxes, click Update Results. If you find a good domain name, you can either click on Buy Now, which will prompt you to choose your preferred registrar from a short list, or you can just write the domain name down and go to your registrar of choice under your own steam. What is a domain registrar? A registrar is simply a company that allows you to buy and control your domain names. When it comes to choosing a registrar, it pays to shop around. Prices for domain names can vary wildly from $5 a year up to $35 a year. And don't always assume that if you pay more, you'll get better service. For the most part, once you've bought your domain name, you don't actually need much in the way of service anyway. And you can easily still get terrible service with a $35 domain name. Okay, the things to look for in a registrar. Bonuses. Often you'll be offered a slew of bonuses or optional add-ons when you purchase a domain name. Sometimes one registrar might offer something for free, while another one charges you for it. So have a little dig down before you decide on one registrar over another. Who is protection? One extra that you might be interested in is Who is protection. This removes your personal contact details, such as your name, address, and phone number, from the Who is register, which is publicly searchable, and replaces it with that of your registrar, thus ensuring that you can't be easily traced to your domain name. GoDaddy charges $9 a year for this service, while Namecheap offers it for free for 1 year. Control panel. Although not critical, a control panel is of considerable use when trying to perform simple tasks such as updating your name servers and unlocking or locking your domain. Although most registrars offer this, some do not, and you'll be required to ticket their support every time you want something changed. And speaking of support, just like with web hosting, you want a reliable domain registrar who can respond quickly to any concerns or complaints that you might have. Although you generally won't require support for your domain, having it available is always a good idea. So be sure to check out the registrar's support page. An ideal registrar will provide phone and email support, but some will only allow you to contact them with support tickets via their website. If they do have a phone number, take the opportunity to test their phone system and call centre by calling pre-sale support. Other things to check. Be careful of registrars who have additional charges or restrictions on things that shouldn't really be there. 1&1, for instance, only allow you 5 subdomains, which is somewhat ridiculous. Some registrars will also charge you if you decide to transfer your domain to another registrar. And here's a list of our recommended registrars. GoDaddy. GoDaddy's website can be a little befuddling. They do hit you up a bit for a bunch of optional extras before you reach the actual checkout, but their prices are reasonable. The admin panel is good and customer support is available. Namecheap. Namecheap has a user-friendly site, has low prices, no hidden fees or restrictions, and often you'll get a full year's Who is Guard for free. Here's a hint. If you perform a Google search for the name of your registrar plus coupon, you'll often be able to find codes to give you a modest discount on your domain name, perhaps $1 or so. Not so exciting for one domain name, but if you're registering a few, it's worth looking into. Whether you want to buy your hosting and domain name from the same company, that's up to you. There are some things you should know though. The pros. If you buy your hosting and domain together, the company will usually set them up so that they work together automatically. It isn't difficult to do it yourself, but it can seem complicated the first time. If you do have problems, you'll only have one support team to contact, and they should be able to sort it out, regardless of whether it's a problem with your domain or a problem with your hosting. If you have your services with separate companies, you might find yourself being shunted back and forth as each company denies responsibility. Cons. If you're paranoid about these things, you might not like the idea of having both your domain and your hosting in the hands of one company. Given that a company receives more ongoing business from your hosting account than from your once yearly domain name registration, they might choose to make things difficult if you want to shift hosting providers. They can effectively hold your domain to ransom. In contrast, a company that is only responsible for your domain name is hardly going to kick up a stink if you choose to transfer it to a different registrar. They'll only lose a few dollars. Lastly, you should be particularly careful with companies who offer a free domain when you purchase hosting. Be very sure that it is you who owns the domain name, not the hosting provider, and that you are free to transfer it to another registrar if you ever wanted to. Purchasing a domain name is generally very simple. Go to your registrar of choice, find the domain name you wish to purchase, and then just click the Add to Cart button and proceed to their checkout. You might be prompted to set up a user account first. Once that's done, just decide if you want any of the optional extras, submit your payment details, and you're done. All the information you need to administer your domain will be emailed to you. And time for today's lesson summary. In this lesson, we've looked at ways you can come up with ideas for domain names, including brainstorming, using Nameboy, or DomainsBot. We've also taken a look at what a domain registrar is and how you can simply choose one. And that's all I've got time for today. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.